Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. A little bit of transfer speculation. Well, there was a lot of transfer speculation went about yesterday. I do expect things to start heating up in the next week or so. I don't think Celtic will bring in anyone this week. I just can't see it. And you'll see towards the end of the transfer window, that's when things will start heating up with Celtic, with deals finally getting done. But it didn't stop adding to breaking headlines last night. And the one big bit of news that kind of came out late last night, no, it wasn't the Kieran Tierney story, and it wasn't Alex Bailly maybe going to Italy to work with Seb Fabregas. Yes, that Barcelona legend wants his prodigal son, but it was for another player in Spain. And the headline was exclusive: Celtic considering a swoop for 8.5 million Spanish winger. The Real Valladolid are aware of the Parkhead side interest. Well, you better tell the Spanish media, because the Spanish media don't seem to be reporting it. They're interested in RAUL Moro, but they're still waiting on an offer. Ajax have yet to meet the La Liga side asking price, despite making the former Spain under-21 international a priority signing. The relegation threatened. They're going to get relegated. They're second bottom with only Valencia 2 points below them. And Valencia are just absolutely ranked rotten this year. The relegation threatened side need to sell the 22-year-old star in order to strengthen the team in other areas. So I did do a little bit of digging, and all the media in Spain are talking about him going to Ajax and not Celtic. But why are Celtic linked with the player, and what would make him a fantastic player for Celtic? I have asked Mateo Moreto, who is a big Spanish journalist who's been running this story, and everything that he's been putting out, all eyes lead to Ajax, not Celtic, unfortunately. So, although Steve McCowan is generally spot on, there may have been interest by Celtic, and the only reason I can think that there's been interest is there's another player at the club that has joined the City group, and it could be the fact that Raul Moro's part of the City group, and there's the connection, and that Celtic are looking at various wingers. Now, he can play on both sides of the pitch, and I think that's what makes him a standout. At 22 years old, he's a good player. They were in the second division last year. He was instrumental in helping them get up to La Liga this year. But with teams like that, they're always going to struggle in the La Liga, and they're looking to sell their prized asset. He had been in Italy the year before that. So is it a story that may happen? I'd be very, very surprised. I would be very, very surprised. As like I say, all the media in Spain that I can find about it is saying that Ajax is there. They've made him their number one priority signing. So we'll wait and see if Celtic can gazump them and convince the player, one, to come to Celtic. They will be able to get more Champions League football with Celtic than Ajax, I'd say, because Ajax aren't that brilliant. But the fact that they are interested, and Celtic are interested, and why he fits the player profile for Celtic is he's 22-year-old. If we can get him in for 8 million, it fits the budget that Celtic are looking to spend money on, the type of player, the quality of the player, that can give the final product. And I think that's what Celtic are really looking at now. The fact that he can play on both wings, he can play on the left, he plays on the right. Raul Moro makes the Huns look. You can see it already, can't you? But I would be surprised if this deal did come off. Celtic have been linked with a number of wingers in this transfer window, and I think that he could just be another one that's added to it. So, no great news coming out about that story, I'm afraid. Like I say, I would say it was a 25% chance of Celtic signing this player, but I could be completely wrong, and Celtic might completely gazump him. The fact that Ajax are in the driving seat according to the Spanish media. But anyway, the other breaking news yesterday was obviously that Kieran Tierney is set to return to Celtic with a deal almost done on his pre-contract agreement. Well, the deal is done according to one transfer guru. We did speak about that yesterday, and the fact that if he comes back to Celtic, there's a young kid at Celtic, Alex Bailly, that could be leaving Celtic We spoke about that extensively on the live last night. If you want to go back and watch that, it was an interesting one. And I think that Celtic could ultimately be letting go a player. There is no option to buy, or obligation to buy, or even option to buy. But it's believed that the noises coming out of Spain is that Barcelona cannot just take him away from Celtic. They cannot recall him. So all the scare stories that that Barcelona was going to recall the kid, they see him as one for next season. They've got players that can fill his position this season, but they're thinking for the future, and they see him as one for the future. Hence the reason that says Fabregas is looking at the player and he wants them, but he wants them with an option to buy because he knows how good the player is ultimately going to be. But anyway, it's all about Scottish Cup this weekend, and it's a massive, massive game. Will Celtic ultimately get anyone in before the Cup game? I very much doubt it. I do very much doubt it. The fact that it is the City group is the only thing that's kind of linking the players together. But Steve McCowan said it was an exclusive. He put it out as an exclusive on his page and in the paper yesterday. Another Celtic headline news. I think everyone's talking about Luke McCowan in the interview. The interview that Luke McCowan gave in the wake of the 3-3 draw. Yes, Celtic did not celebrate a draw. They seen it as we could have done better. Brendan Rodgers definitely thought we could do better, but when you listen to the interview of Stephen McCowan straight after the game, he was a player, he spoke like he had been at Celtic for years. He spoke like he knew what was expected. Well, he knows what's expected at Celtic. He knew that the players, and without throwing anyone under the bus, without naming names, without picking out positions, he just said that, look, we should have a better performance, basically. And it's as simple as that. Luke McCowan, for me, is the future Celtic captain. I think once Callum McGregor hangs up his boots, Luke McCowan is the only player that I can see coming through Celtic just now that is... It will fit him like a glove. The captaincy of Celtic will fit Luke McCowan like a glove, and I think he's a player that's going to excel. And I think he will fly under the radar over the next few years. He'll kind of just go along doing his thing, and he'll not get the big shout-outs that the Arne Engels of the world will get because of his price tag. And I think that's the good thing about Luke McCowan. He'll just do his talking on the pitch. He'll show his performances. He'll go 120%, whilst other players might try and turn up and do 90% or 100%. Luke McCowan will give his all for Celtic. And headlines-wise, there's a lot of headlines obviously going around this RAUL transfer. I'm going to be honest, I don't really think I could see it happening. There's a lot of them running through this morning, the exact same headline, but it's a headline that grabs headlines, and that's it. At the end of the day, make sure the sun's just came in, it's completely blinding me. Make sure you join me for the live tonight, 8 o'clock Celtic part time. I'm done with this video because I've not got the shutters down, and the sun, well, the sun is up. It's got its hat on, it's going out to play, it's freezing outside. Make sure, it's not as cold as Ibrox, is it? It's minus whatever over there. Anyway, I believe that they won last night. Oh, way, woohoo. On that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, all around the world. Jesus, I'm blind.